You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
This is Jerry.
This is Harry.
The Paragon.
Whoops, sorry, too early.
How presumptuous. He's been on 2 episodes.
You show up for this is your 3rd episode, and you're already cutting me
Thinks
off.
he's got 3rd billing all of a sudden.
Just already 3rd build. Listen, I'll tell you what. For some
Hey,
people,
I'm surprised you didn't say this is Big H in the gang.
Then we're going to get through this episode. Listen, I want to set some ground rules. That was Harrington. And
this is Enrique.
I'm Gabi.
we're going to get through this episode, and by God,
It's going to be
Listen.
glorious.
we're going to talk about a board game. Enrique,
Yes,
we played a game together.
we did.
Was it on Friday? What day? What did we play? What did we play on Friday?
I'm trying to remember
What did we
what.
play on Friday? That
I don't
was
know.
So good.
Let me tell y'all.
Look at
Was
that.
it early?
Obviously,
Obviously.
we get up early because we're at a convention.
Oh,
We
what?
get up early. We go to bed late. We
Friday,
party all the
Friday,
time.
Friday.
Oh, wait.
Mhm.
Friday, I don't know what y'all played. What did you play after Zuvadis? Oh, Foundations of Metropolis.
Oh,
Bought that at
you
the flea
did.
market.
That's
I don't have
right.
That one marked on
Suchi,
here.
Mr. Suchi, Emerson Suchi. This game is way overproduced. It shouldn't be so produced, but instead, rookie mistake. Harrington, your phone going off.
Sorry.
Back down to 4th for you.
This game is where you just buy deeds. You have a numbered board. You're putting out your little markers, and then you're building from like this Tetramino little thing that you have to produce money and population and score victory points. Very basic, very easy.
Very simple.
Very good.
It's easy and simple the same.
You know what? That is a great question.
necessarily.
That is a great question. Thank you, Harrington. Expound on that. Again, my questions hit harder than some.
We're discussing synonyms now.
Go ahead, Harrington.
Easy and simple.
Hey, me and Harrington.
Wouldn't easy be? No, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah,
Okay,
One
but
of
you're
y'all-
saying a lot for somebody.
I
not
want
saying
to.
anything.
I want to say a lot
Well,
of
think
things.
about it. Let him cook. Harrington, easier than simple.
Here we go.
Profound.
So simple doesn't have a lot of elements, but easy could if each element is easy, I think.
That made more sense than it should have.
Easy, according to scottmcknight.substack.com.
Thank you.
That sounds.
That is the side I will go
That
to
sounds
for all my
reliable.
knowledge now.
Wait a minute, Scott McKnight. Isn't that the basketball coach?
Who is this
He used to
guy?
throw chairs.
No, that's something night.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You love McDonald's.
Easy means without effort. Simple means without complication.
Okay,
Oh,
so there's a
goodness.
difference between effort, complication. I knew this.
So it was more simple than anything, right?
But the less
But it wasn't-
complication, the less effort it requires.
But it wasn't.
So you think something that is complex requires effort?
Well, yeah.
And technically, it had some type of complexity.
I would argue that complexity applies to skill. And if one is skilled, it doesn't require as much effort. Hence, it can be both complex yet easy to somebody who is skilled.
I would say there are things that can be complicated. So, for example, I was just thinking the Godfather, Corleone's Empire game.
Mhm.
I've said something about like that being entry level, but you're talking about all the different mechanisms, but all those mechanisms are straightforward. So there's more than one mechanism.
So
So
it's
some might say it's complex,
but it's easy.
but it's easy.
But
See?
not simple.
That's a nice way of saying, and a long way of saying, Jerry, you're right.
I didn't hear what you said earlier.
That's okay, because you weren't paying attention. But basically,
I
you
was
said,
busy looking up
you said I was right.
scottmcknight.substack.com.
But I think that's what Harrington was saying, is that it can be both complex.
Bobby Knight, that's the name of that
Bobby
coach.
Knight,
Oh,
that
right.
guy.
Indiana Hoosiers.
How did we get off on this complex and easy thing? We're talking about Foundation,
Foundations of
Foundation.
Metropolis.
which is really good. I liked it. Emerson Suchi.
Tetranomino.
Very basic in terms of it's
Polyomino,
very
whatever it's
easy, but yet the complexity of it simply came from knowing when you needed to have population and money. It was just simple. It was nice and smooth.
Smooth, like I like my bourbon. If there's something that can be said for Foundations of Metropolis, and I don't know that the angst of trying to set up Andromeda's Edge amplified our enjoyment of Foundations of Metropolis.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, how late was that when we were even
It was
trying to
in the afternoon, but there was a lot of angst with Andromeda's Edge.
Like, you were already
because
freaking out, bro.
I did. I freaked out on Andromeda's
out,
Edge.
bro.
He was freaking out.
There was
man.
a couple sitting next to us at the con that were just playing a nice light
Enrique, you
game.
just need to move to California. You are just so surfer, dude. You're already freaking out, bro.
Angst.
You're freaking out, man.
But they
You're such a surfer. You need to take up surfing.
They
No,
must have
no.
heard me grumbling about this game because the rule book for Andromeda's Edge, which I had watched a video the night before that purported that this is a very easy game. You just send ships out or you bring them back. The little diagram that they give you of what each component is looks like somebody has just literally done a dice tower dump out onto the table and just labeled junk. But the thing that pushed me over the edge was when I'm trying to find a certain item that is listed, but then in parentheses it says not shown. Okay, well, show it. The point of that is to show the whole items, everything, what they are and what they're labeled, so I can know what they are. And then the setup was place this thing. Well, this thing is not labeled. What is it? It was very frustrating to set up, very tedious to set up. And then all of a sudden, you have this game that I can't seem to quite comprehend exactly what I'm trying to do with all these fiddly little pieces. I was quite upset at Andromeda's Edge. There's no reason why a rulebook would be that way. None whatsoever.
My eyes still, like, I was trying to set that thing up, and oh my God. It's terrible.
I don't-
Enrique can't do it.
If I can't do it, then no one can.
And so I don't like rule books.
You don't
Period.
like reading.
Yeah.
Period. Exactly.
Period.
Give me a video where I can set up the thing, watch the video, and do it as I go. But Jerry opened up to that. What do they call those pages?
Not the
There's a
appendix.
technical term.
It's not the content.
The reference?
The reference, maybe. I keep
Oh, it's
forgetting
like
the name of it.
But it's like a splay. I don't know. There's a technical term for like this is covering both pages, like a splash. Like
No, it's
as far as terminology, it's
no,
like
it's the
splash page.
It just shows. That's not the splash page.
The
Oh.
split page.
well, they used to call them when in the Playboy they unfold both pages. Like this is the.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking? Well, we
That's
also
something
even reached for the thing to try to mark that deposit. You've done
Mark the
said it.
deposit.
Yeah, I see that.
No, they call that something like the.
Harrington.
I'm not sure
No,
about this
nobody-
one. I'm trying to think.
I've heard other
What, the
radio
Playboy?
shows discuss it.
Oh, this is not a radio.
Anyway,
Thanks for that.
mark the tape. On that page where it shows all of the components, Jerry just
The
opened
fold out.
something
Oh,
like
maybe.
that.
the
There you go.
centerfold.
That'll work.
Centerfold.
No, that's not right.
I don't
That's
think,
not
I don't
right.
think that's the term. The centerfold picture show the gratuitous photos I saw on this board game.
Oh. That's what if I ever decide a board game, I'm going to have a centerfold of it. There's just me. Just a big glossy photo. There's
You
just
should have
me.
heard that picture of Enrique as he was posing.
I have a centerfold. I know
So
what you're talking about.
anyway, he just opened it up, and it's like somebody just puked the components
Trash.
on the page.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was bad.
It was real bad.
So Andromeda's Edge.
So and here's another thing: you were
I'm
irritated
very irritated.
just reading the rule book.
It irritated.
And anytime Jerry goes into a game irritated, well, in my
It's
opinion,
not
from
getting
the
done.
things I've played with Jerry, it taints his view of the game going in. I didn't want to play the game simply from like, okay, Jerry's already upset.
I'm tainted.
You're going to be angry playing the game.
Tainted love.
And it's like, I I was like checked out. I was like, let's just put it up because you're already gonna be angry. Even if we discovered how to play it after an hour of figuring it out, I was like, I'm done. So we were all done. So Jerry's like, it was a trash garbage rule book. We threw everything in the box, and Jerry's like, I'll go find something else. Comes back. Harrington went off to Stationfall.
Yes, I was about to talk about it.
And he won that.
Speaking of
Harrington.
He won a big game.
Harrington's going to have his.
He was a chimp with a
50 minutes of
gun.
fame.
We need a 9-player game of Stationfall.
I was like, you got one spot open? I'll join.
Yeah, just join last minute.
And won.
Yes,
One
sir.
Stationfall.
How did you fall?
I got out of the station before it fell.
You were a monkey.
I was, actually. I
With
was
a
a space
gun.
chimp.
He was
I
a
got
s-
my gun and I went to Earth and I won.
Yes. So now,
So after the hour of explanations and I was about to say, oh, this is not for me and walk away, I decided to give it a try.
Could you have
In
walked
for the
away?
long
Did they
haul.
say like it's okay if somebody wants to leave right now?
They
No,
did.
I would have just walked away.
they gave
But
us
I thought, no, I better not. I stayed and I listened and
They just kind
know
of taboo
some
with these
things now.
things.
they gave
Just
us they gave a safe word. You could say it. And you won.
I did. Surprisingly, I did not expect to, but
At what point did you know you were going to win?
when everybody started saying how many points they had, I was like, I got more
That's
than
typically. That's typically. I
The
was
very end.
That is the best
When we were
answer to
counting.
that I've ever heard in my life. By far. the best answer to any question we have ever asked on this podcast. How many episodes? How did you know when he's going to win?
Well,
when everybody else started saying their
when scores were being announced.
When I saw the victory point mark and I was ahead of everybody else, I said to myself,
Looks like things are coming up Harrington on this one.
what I meant to ask, and I'll be more specific. At what point during the game did you think I've got this? Was there ever a point during the game?
Based upon his previous answer, I'm going to say no.
So you were just as shocked as the other 8 players.
I was.
Other 9 players. Okay.
I
So the
was.
chimp got a gun.
Yep.
So how did you obtain said gun?
He picked it
No,
up.
Stationfall is a game about a station falling apart out of orbit.
Yeah.
You've got to get off the station.
Yes.
Hence
And
the
You go to an
name.
many
escape pod or
characters.
something?
Yes.
There are escape pods that you try to get
And
to
you
at
were
the
the
end.
You were the chimpanzee monkey.
was. I
You
was
said
the space
monkey.
chimp.
Space chimp. There's a difference. And you got a gun somehow.
So there were guns laying around in different areas.
Which you don't
and
do.
several other characters
monkeys
picked them
around.
up. So I thought, how am I going to get the gun from the other characters?
And
And
the
how did you get said gun?
So
quick
you
question
can
about your
knock them
space
out.
chimp.
Yeah.
Was he characterized or being shown as like having a helmet on?
No, but he did have a spacesuit on.
Okay,
But no
space suit.
helmet.
He's
Okay.
missing
Gotcha.
the helmet.
So
you
how did
can
you-
put on helmets.
So how did you get the gun again?
I was going to get a wrench and knock somebody out and steal one from them, but I didn't have to.
A wrench.
Turns out. I controlled them and made them give it to me.
So you-
in this game, you can use your influence tokens to take control of any character
Who did-
because you don't know who
Yeah.
is who.
And by character, you mean other players in the game?
Well, so
Yes.
not every person is assigned a character. You don't know who they're controlling. So you can thus control a random character.
Yes.
So who gave you the gun?
Let's see. I can't remember.
It wasn't a fellow chimp,
I think it was the colonel.
the
He had a
colonel.
gun.
So there was a colonel.
Mustard
There was a
Perhaps.
colonel in the game. I can
with a wrench
confirm that.
in
Hence-
the station,
And he
East
gave, he
Wing.
gave you the gun. He gave up his gun to a chimp. And how did you use said gun?
I didn't have to.
Okay,
I just had to have it.
you just had
I
it.
thought you said a wrench. Oh, you took the gun with knocking him out with a wrench.
He didn't
I
have
could,
to.
but
He
I didn't have
influenced.
to.
You're not paying attention to the
Okay,
story at
sorry.
all.
It's
Please
very-
stop.
It's very
Please stop
intricate.
asking
Even
questions.
telling
Very-
stories about this game.
What
is
did you
complicated.
do with that gun? You just had it.
Did you
I
shoot
just held
anybody?
it around and
You
scared
waved
people
the
with
gun
it.
around, and that scared people. And
Yeah,
then you
they
made
didn't
it to
wanna mess
the.
with
They
you.
made it to the
A
escape
typical
pod.
chimp move.
Ooh,
Hey,
shiny. What's
listen.
How dare you?
What?
Well, that's how you're chimpest.
That sounds like it.
Wow.
You're a
Thanks, guys.
chimpist. How dare you?
How dare I?
I must be.
How dare I? How dare you? Who's your favorite chimp of all time?
Oh, I don't.
That one
I
that
don't have an
wouldn't-
answer.
The favorite chimp? The one that hasn't ripped somebody's face off.
You know what? That's a vindictive.
Face
That's what they do.
That's chimpist.
No, they rip people's face off.
that is chimpist.
Yeah,
you
that-
also two chimpists in the room. How dare you?
Enrique,
What?
first,
Yeah,
What?
join together. You might as
Chimps.
well.
I know you're not about to.
I'm just saying, is that people?
You're anti-chimp.
Do you like chimps?
Love them.
Would you own one?
to rip
No,
off
I'm
your
not.
face.
They're a wild animal.
But
you
you
should not
love
own them.
You love a feces throwing, face ripping animal.
I don't love.
You just said you love them.
Well, I mean, I
It's just
respect
dating.
them.
You said you love them.
They're
I
a-
respect them as too.
They're almost a sentient being.
You love them because
They're
you
not
don't
a
not
sentient
around
being.
them. If you lived in a
Oh, have
area,
you lived with them?
No, but I don't
Exactly.
want to.
Jane Goodall.
Well,
over
no,
here.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
exactly
Jane Goodall.
What
Goodall.
exactly?
Jane
Exactly
Goodall.
what? Exactly
Jane
what?
Goodall.
What do you mean exactly?
Exactly. You haven't lived with them. I haven't lived with them.
Okay, but
But
do
like
you know
any
about
animal,
them? Does that change the fact?
They should not be provoked by humans.
Okay, so you shouldn't live next to them.
If
Yeah.
they were not disturbed, they wouldn't disturb you.
So you shouldn't live next to them.
I don't know.
So you shouldn't own them.
Well, they're just like pit bulls. I mean, they may turn on you,
so
they may
you're
not.
Anti-pit bull. Oh, you're pit bull now. I see how you are. So are you
Not all
anti-pit
pit
bull?
bulls.
Yeah.
Some chows.
What?
Some
Some
chows.
chow.
Some chows. Some chows.
Do you have some chowson?
Maine.
Some chowson. Your dog's always sick. Why is this? Hey,
no,
We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop because stop. That doesn't make any sense. Second,
I'm
there's nobody who
I'm
thinks that's funny.
I'm anti-pittist,
Anti-pit.
pro-chimp.
No, so you don't like pit. So you're pro chimp. So you would
No, I don't.
You don't like chimps. Why are you you're taking this stance? You don't even know what you're talking
Because I've seen Tarzan.
about. Tarzan's not a chimp.
They would
His best friend was a chimp.
Yeah,
no,
but they
were
raised him.
gorillas.
No.
He's
No. I'm talking about the old school 50s, 60s
But that's
TV
that's
show.
fictional because chimps would
What?
eat you.
He did not. This is news to guys.
I was watching a documentary, sir. No, gorillas are horrifying.
No.
This is
I
true.
watched Congo. They actually
They're-
went to get those
they're-
diamonds.
they're
They
horrifying.
ripped people apart.
Yeah, the gorilla could. Okay, so
Not even
100 men versus a
could, yeah.
gorilla.
All right, listen. I'll settle that debate
Speak
real
about that.
fast.
Go ahead.
I could take 100 Enriques, and I could defeat a gorilla.
Yeah, you could.
Oh,
There's
It's very
no-
simple.
Yeah.
Because it's a matter of if you're going one by one, obviously not.
Well, duh.
But everybody go at once.
Yeah, we
You
win.
take the legs, you take the upper half. Now, some of you will die.
Some of
Yes.
you will die.
Sacrifices will be made for
Enrique's,
this
all the
victory,
Enriques will not make it.
No,
as they
But
should.
as a Gabi, I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
just saying is that whole stupid debate, like people.
I don't even know how that
Where did
started.
that even start?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Well, it's kind of like the,
Memes.
a
the pro
100.
gorillas person.
Would you rather fight 100 chicken-sized horses or 100 or one
What?
horse-sized chicken?
How many
I don't
chicken
know.
flavored horses would you rather fight?
100 chicken-sized horses or one horse-sized chicken? I don't know.
That's a dinosaur.
I'd rather fight the chicken-sized horses.
I mean, a horse-sized chicken's an ostrich.
Yeah, that
Yeah, it
is
really is.
No, it's
All right. What else we
Basically,
played
yeah.
was
back to board games.
boom. We also played. Okay, what did y'all play? Okay, so Enrique disappeared on me and Jerry.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't.
We played Zuvadis,
He went about his business.
and then
I think I went down to the expedition. I think.
Oh yeah, you did.
because
Oh,
me
that's
and
right.
you milled about the hotness and played Bomb Busters.
That was exciting. With the Quake brand Richard Simpson.
We played Bomb Busters with Equate brand Richard Simpson.
Well,
And this
I
is
actually
basically-
thought that was Richard Simpson doing it.
Did you not notice his lack of accent?
His name? Well, he could fake it.
No, Richard can't fake it.
Richard could fake it. Trust me, Richard fakes it.
Bomb Busters is
He's from
Hanabi,
Jersey.
but with bombs and wires.
So if you like Hanabi,
I
which
do not
is
like
completely
Hanabi.
where you have the cards turned facing people. Or is that the game?
Yeah.
Okay. So this game, it's not cards, nor are the things facing you. So it's completely
You point.
not Hanabi,
You point and you guess.
but they're not facing you.
You point and you guess.
But you're not facing you, right?
I didn't say it's exactly the same thing. It's the same essence of the game.
You just point and guess.
Also, Spiel des Jahres.
Kinderspiel.
Oh my God.
Kinderspiel.
Was it Kinder? No, Kinder is for children. Kinder is the quote unquote strategic.
Well, one of them, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know because the German language perplexes me in a way that I don't quite understand. They have a lot of sounds, and I don't get that.
There's lots of.
I don't mind that. It's
You don't like the? I prefer the.
I can't go over the. It sounds like you're. Well, it sounds like you're just slurring your words.
Bomb Busters. So I posted on Facebook, did not like this game. It's point and guess. It's a deduction game with
hard.
some limited knowledge. And Joffrey posted in support of, he said he likes it. He likes this style of games.
I like Joffrey.
I love Joffrey.
I wouldn't say I love him.
I love Joffrey.
You love Joffrey?
I love Joffrey.
To what degree?
He makes me feel comfortable when I play games
I
with him.
heard about that.
On a previous podcast.
You know who else makes
Previously on Board Game Snobs. You didn't text me.
Not this good.
So anyway, so Joffrey's like, well, if you play the legacy or the campaign version of it, it increases all these things and makes it more interesting. Okay, that's fine.
Sounds like you have limited knowledge.
I can't get past the.
I just say it sounds like Joffrey.
It's not the style of game I like. Like
you
I
don't
just
like
don't like
pointing
that.
and guessing.
I don't like
Which
pointing and
pretty
guessing.
much how you play every strategy game is point and
That's
guess.
true. That's true.
I'm just saying.
Sometimes I win.
Just saying.
I was on a 2-game winning streak there for a minute.
Yeah.
And then me and Jerry played Altay
For by Pauline Moray.
Dawn of Civilization.
It wasn't that great.
As you mentioned on Star Trek Captain's Chair,
I did.
a deck building game.
He was a deck builder. Very good.
Again, all credit and glory to Jerry Baker, as you like to receive.
Thank you.
Like to make you feel good.
I feel great. You don't have to worry about it.
Deck building.
I feel great. And when I say that I feel great, it sounds like it too. People know.
I feel great.
We couldn't tell.
The thing I don't like about deck builders is the same thing.
Don't you worry about it.
He ate 6 bananas. He's
And he
ate.
peels them with his feet.
Actually, I can do that.
Do it.
No, I can't.
Do
I'm
it.
joking.
Do it.
I'm joking.
Try it. I bet you I could.
You know what?
No.
Do it right now for the podcast. Keep talking, Gobby. I'll take the picture.
All right. Well, while they take off their shoes and oh my God, the smell of vinegar just increased.
Immediately.
It's kind of sweaty. Hold on.
This is disturbing.
That is disturbing.
So as they prepare to peel a banana with their toes,
Very appealing.
what I don't like about it's hard to discuss deck building games is Enrique puts a banana between his captain toe and his secondary toe.
All right, he's got his shoes off.
Okay.
Now keep talking, Gobby.
I'm trying to see how hairy Enrique's toe knuckles are.
Toe knuckles.
You're gripping the wrong side of the banana. No, go the other side of the banana. Oh, he did it.
He did.
Oh, if only you could feed yourself.
Yeah. Only if I could feed myself.
He did it, but a piece did fall on the ground. Oh, and he's eating that. The very thing that his toes touched.
I must say, I have more respect for him now than I ever had in my life.
It's quite a.
That is quite.
I mean, without any difficult, he just shredded that banana with his
easy.
toes.
But it was more. It wasn't as surgical as I would have thought.
No, if he would have started with the stalk end of it, I think he would have done better.
The stalk. I think it would have been harder.
I mean, you would have had to break it, but once it breaks, I think it would have been easier for your toes to grasp.
Keep eating that banana.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
There's no need to stop.
Give him a
Yeah, I'm
second.
sorry.
Let him cook.
It's what's.
Oh my
Because for
There's
me
no-
to do that,
I feel as if this is.
I would actually have to be able to hold the whole banana with my foot, which I can't do.
You can't hold the whole banana with your foot.
No, I can't. Do you do you see me curling my?
that banana on the floor and instantly peeled it with the is peak podcast material. Oh my God. If only this was Jerry recorded, but
I
don't know.
recorded a little bit of it. It's okay.
I mean, the bananas on Enrique concerns himself not one thing about germs,
There's no need.
debris from the floor.
Good debris.
So, Altay Dawn of Civilization. It's a classic deck builder. And I don't like the fact that, like Jerry said about deck builders, you draw these cards up and, well, I can either fight or gain apples.
Did you
Out of context, that's
gotta
weird.
gain apples? That's like it is a weird choice if you think about it in terms of like how things are. It's like, would you like to go to war and kill your neighbor to take their land? Or would you like
Some apples?
would you like to use these 2 apples to build a city? Well, I guess. And then you just go and you take those
How
apples.
much did this village cost?
You take
A couple of apples.
you take these apples and you build this village. Like, well, you like them apples. It's like, well, I get, and then
We built this city.
What's even weirder
Anything
is,
but the metric
is
system.
when you play the other card and it's like, here's some wood. What can you do with those wood? Well, you can take that wood and that rock and you can build an army. Or take that rock, you hire this guy. What did he do?
Well, how many rocks you need, sir?
He cuts down trees. It's like, I guess we'll just, in context, I know it's very abstract, but it is
just-
kind of somewhat
It
disturbing.
makes no sense.
It's okay. It doesn't need to make sense. I'm just saying that, yeah, it was fine. The artwork was
It was
great.
not fine. It was no good.
It was fine.
It was no good.
Okay.
Okay. A game that we play 3 rounds of and say we're done.
It's fine.
No, it's not fine. It's
I can
not
say
good.
it's fine. Well, your idea of fine, though, is probably, when you say something's fine, you mean like it's adequate.
No, if something's fine, I've played it all the way through.
Oh, that's your, well, okay. I'll give you that. I could have played it all the way through.
Because if I'm not willing to finish a game, I didn't enjoy it enough to finish the game.
Oh, I see. But you've played enough of it to pass judgment on it.
Right.
Okay.
Obviously.
How about them apples? Okay. And then we
Uh,
went and played. After that, you left, right?
left because I had to prepare
don't know what
myself
I
for a 18X. You said you came upstairs and read rulebook.
Yeah, for that Galactic Renaissance, which is the guy who made Inish. And it was overproduced and it was decent, but I wondered why I never heard of it. And we played a few rounds of it and it was
Ain't
not
no
great.
way.
And then I went to bed early because I had to get up early to play the 18XX game. Shikoku,
Shikoku.
1839.
I don't know how to
can't
pronounce it. I probably
remember.
shouldn't pronounce it like
We
that. 'cause
pronounced it wrong, and you pronounced
we
it.
have a Japanese friend nearby, and we should ask him.
Well, that was very racist of you to use.
It's not
He's
racist.
Japanese. He knows how to pronounce
It's
it.
a clear fact.
Your sounding of it.
Right. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that.
You shouldn't have said that. I'm glad you could acknowledge.
But I
that.
was doing it based off Ace Ventura's Pet Detective
That-
Part 2 when he goes, Shikoku.
That's why I like about you.
Shikoku.
It's not racist if Jim Carrey says it.
That's right.
That's what I always say.
And also,
What else?
speaking to our friend Rio from Japan,
He's from Chicago.
I told him, what?
Originally
He's
from
from-
Japan.
He's from
Japan.
Chicago.
But he's lived in
No, his
Chicago.
family's from Japan.
Yeah, but he's from Chicago.
Presently,
I think
he was born in Japan.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not.
I'm throwing it out
I
there.
met him 3 days ago.
And you do know
I'm
that's
not
not
sure.
his name either.
I know
You can't
because I
pronounce
can't.
his name,
No, I'm not going to.
Who,
but yet
Tony?
you know so much about him.
But I'm willing to say Shikoku for some reason. Anyway,
Anyways,
when we told him, or when I told him my favorite game was Yokohama, he had a staunch response to the actual city itself.
anti-Yokohama.
He's anti-Yokohama
Not
and
the
says
game,
it's a
but
nasty
but the
town.
town. Just FYI for everybody who might
But
be
it's
going
a
to Japan.
excellent game.
It's an excellent game. Interesting port.
And so, yeah, well, we'll just go ahead and discuss 18XX real quick because we have yet to really start
all
our.
we've done today.
We have yet to start our. This is as of this recording. It's Saturday.
Basically, all we've done. Don't
4:13
label
p.m.
it. All we've done. Room 1073.
I showed up at 8:00,
Thankfully.
8:01, because it was scheduled and I knew exactly what time things were going to start.
Right.
And I got here, we played Shikoku 1889, a 18xx game of stock building, track laying. Not for me.
I knew it wasn't for you. And you knew that too, but you played it
I did
anyways.
not, because I enjoyed City of Big Shoulders.
But that's not an 18xx game.
I know, but the cost, it's very much part of it,
It's
though.
not, though. Not the same designer.
It's very much part
There's
of
no
it.
8xx on it.
That's true. Everything you're saying is true.
Big Shoulders 19.8xx.
But the mechanisms of City of Big Shoulders do exist in the 18xx
Such
games.
as?
Buying stocks, getting the dividends from those stocks, that stuff.
Okay, so buying stocks is the thing that coincides with that. It coincides with stockpile and everything else that you can think of.
So you would purchase stocks and
Okay.
then be invested in companies and then hope the price of that company goes up so that you can sell those stocks for an amount or receive dividends from those
You're
stocks.
describing the stock market,
Right.
which exists in almost every stock market game.
But in 18xx,
There's trains.
y'all were discussing numbers very quickly.
There's trains.
Lots of multiplication,
which is very easy to do because there's a chart.
lots of division,
There's chart.
and it's just not for me.
Why?
I just said it.
I know. Why?
I'm just doing math.
You're not doing math. You can look at I know you hear people saying numbers, but they're literally looking at a chart and pointing at it.
But the thing is, I'm playing also with Tommy and Chad and yourself. Even you were asking questions along the way.
Yeah.
But Tommy and Chad were like, they were just spouting stuff. This, okay, 4 here.
We don't let
And I
them
was just-
talk, and they're just blowing hot.
But I was just lost. Like they were just saying everything so fast because they're so familiar with this style of game. And even if, and I at one point said, if I played this maybe 4 more times, I might get it. But I'm not interested enough to play 4 more times.
Why aren't you interested in it?
I'm not able to express like you are the reasons why.
I know, why don't you
when I
like
say
it?
I just didn't enjoy it. Like for one, there was a pretty good wait period by the time it gets back around to me.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy when my train ran.
You have to buy certain companies and you run their trains.
I did enjoy trying to figure out how much my train would get on that part.
That's good.
But as far as everything else, I was just lost.
Wait, there's nothing else.
I know. And for you, it's simple. For me, it wasn't.
Well, no, it's because all they're talking is literally they were reading something outside. There's nothing to figure.
I know. Okay. But nonetheless, I didn't like it.
I know you didn't like it, but if you're not liking it because you think that there was something else, there wasn't anything else.
I felt lost.
Well, there you go. You felt lost because you heard other people talking about aspects of the game, but there was nothing. They're just discussing their own strategies. There's nothing lost about it. You just look at the chart. Here's this number. That's what it pays out.
Okay.
That's it.
I didn't like it.
You do understand it, but then you say you don't understand it. I'm trying to drill down.
It's a lot to keep track of.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to drill down in. Is it just keep track of? But you don't have to keep track of that. I think, here's what I'm saying, and I will use this illustration because I think it's very poignant because it had with John's company. Here comes David.
John Company.
Here comes Enrique. They go in this. There is no way they could even set that game up. They have no idea about the instructions or anything like that, but they are competitive in it, even though they don't fully understand every little thing about the game. You obsess over the rules of the game and worry about what's going on, that's things you don't need to know about, and ignore playing the game and then feel lost because you don't understand every little thing that's going on rather than focusing on the strategy. You're trying to figure out the logistics that don't mind you, that have nothing to really you need to worry about. Just focus on the strategy. But because of that, you feel lost and then go, I don't understand the game. What you're really saying is you don't know how to play or set up and know every little detail of the game. You could play the game efficiently, but because you feel lost and don't know 100% everything about the game, you give up on it. I think that's a more adequate description of the situation. If you don't feel 100% comfortable with the rule book and everything else, because you do that on every single game we play. You get the rule book and interrupt the game and look for some little rule that nobody's ever thought of to try to find, and it doesn't matter. And everybody's going, no, you can't break it. Ignore it. It's just this thing. But you're trying to find this one little thing and obsessed over it. When in fact, you don't even need to have the rule book or know the rule book. Just play this thing. Does that make sense?
Because
that's my point.
Because I've done games where I didn't understand every aspect
That's
of the
every game, Enrique, that you play.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Except deck
like for
builders.
me, every game that I initially don't understand about everything, I just play it.
That's exactly
and then
right.
I just learn about throughout other people's actions.
Right.
We're completely different people.
I know, but the point is that
Well, that's why we actually had this very discussion yesterday, because I was looking up a game and I was reading the setup. Now that you say this, it makes sense. Because I was reading the setup because I want to understand the setup so that I can have
You weren't
that
reading the
clarified in my
setup.
brain.
Yeah, don't
you
worry
were listening
about the
to a
setup.
video about the setup.
Right.
Which
but
is
I'd like to know the setup.
But there's no need for you because but for context, I had set the game up.
Because
but I like to know what's where.
Okay. It was set up where you could literally turn to the table. The game was fully set up. You watched a setup video of a game that was already set up. And I pointed that out of you should listen to the rules. You don't
Which
need to
game
set
was
it
that?
up.
Yeah, like
It was Andromeda's Edge.
So there's no setup.
That you were struggling with.
Right.
Yeah.
But the point is
that rulebook was garbage.
You don't need to worry about the setup. You need to worry about the rules.
No, I'm backing up what you're saying.
Right. And so but my point is that every game...
I'm not arguing with your point.
No, I'm not arguing. I know you're not arguing a point, but I'm making a point that you do this thing where if you won't read a rule book, you won't put any effort into understanding the game, but you want to...
I put great effort into it.
But
it
you want to
me out trying to understand it.
No, but you want to understand every aspect of the game.
Which you
and
don't
will
necessarily
every
need.
ruling or anything somebody's telling you. And if you cannot have 100% fully understanding of the game in every respect, you feel like you don't understand what's going on.
I'm going to say this
which is
well,
a thing that some people can get away with, like David and Enrique. They can just show up and play a game and just go whatever.
Yeah, because like for me, even if there was a specific rule that isn't described well, but someone else has played the game or actually understands it, you just need to play the game and then see how it is played out.
But for me, I can't play the game if I don't understand it.
Oh, here's the thing,
game.
Here's the thing, though. You can play the game, you just won't play it effectively.
Well, you can play it effectively.
Not if you don't necessarily...
You've almost won John Company.
I almost
and you weren't explained anything.
I know, but still.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. But that was just because I knew my aspect of how I was playing.
Right.
That's the thing, though. I wasn't going into the military aspect of the game.
Harrington won a 9-player game of
That was even more complex.
Okay.
Don't even try to compare that to
There's
John
something to be
Company.
said about people who... my point being is there's something to be said about people who are not obsessed about the rules of the game. I'm not saying that the game shouldn't be played according to the rules, but they're willing to get into the game and not have to know every little mechanism. How's it work? How's this thing? They just know this is a generalized thing and play that and not get bogged down with stuff they do not need to know. Does that make sense?
But an 18XX is difficult to do because I need to know how the stocks, like what am I needing to invest in, or what am I needing to sell or buy?
No. You invest in stuff that you think is going to do well, right?
Yeah, and I invested poorly in your company that you bankrupted me in.
Right. Which
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do it, but I was like, no, I thought Jerry was going to. I was initially invested in your main company, which won the game,
which did great,
and then I sold out of that company to go into your secondary company, which you bankrupted.
Yes, it sounds like you made some poor financial decisions.
I did,
and it sounds like you knew that though. So you knew the mechanisms. You just made a poor choice. That's a difference between knowing.
But no, it's not. It's not just that. Before that, though, before you bankrupted me,
I bankrupted. I did bankrupt. It was hilarious.
Yeah, this almost sounds like you personally attacked him, Jerry.
I didn't personally attack him. He invested in a company that I was going to tank. I didn't mean for it. It just happened.
I think he meant it the whole time.
Obviously.
But
we won't.
But I mean, nonetheless, neither here nor there. City of Big Shoulders, I enjoyed.
Right.
And I don't know what about 18XX. I mean, other than laying the track.
I can tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
Because I baby you during Cities of Big Shoulders and either do it on BGA where there is no math, or I did the math for you and never said it out loud. The problem that you have with 18XX is that Chad and Tommy tried to teach you a game that you were not going to pay attention to, that you're not going to be able to comprehend.
I was paying attention. Okay, no.
And instead of just
wait.
doing the game and
No.
saying, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it, and you don't worry about it. And if they would have said, don't worry about this, just invest in good stuff, and then we'll go, this is how much money you made, you'd have been fine. But they sat down and gave you a full rules explanation that even I was going, oh, please don't do this, because you're not going to be able to sit there and have 15 million questions and have the rule book out. None of them touched the rule book. None of them gave it to you and said, here's how this little thing works. This is why you flip this token upside down, because that's all going to be the questions that you're going to have, and that's going to take the joy out of the game for you, rather than just saying, Gabi, place tracks, run trains, and invest in what you know, and you're good.
You kept saying that repeatedly.
I did. I kept every time they would. Did you notice not through that whole rule book when you're sitting there and they're going, well, if you'll notice here when you pay out this, and I'm going, just put your money where you think who's going to do good, put your tracks out, and there you go. If you think it's going to do bad, sell it. But instead, they were trying to explain it to you, and not realizing that every other game we play, you don't know how to play it, you don't know how to set it up, because I do it for you, and everything else I just go, here's this thing, here's what you should do. Don't worry about why this goes up or down, because it's just part of the game. It's just part of the game.
I did set up and explain Hold Your Ground to you.
That was a great game. I highly recommend Hold Your Ground. Please look that up on BGA and realize that the one game that Gabi taught here, not just here, but probably all year, is a game called Hold Your Ground.
No,
That's a great game, too.
Let's hold on.
I thought that was a good game.
Let's hold on for a second. Along this line of thinking, not line of thinking, train of thought. There we go. I came upon it and didn't realize it.
Thought that was good.
I used to read rule books.
You used to.
I think I've been ruined.
I know.
You did this.
No, I did not.
You did this.
I'll tell you what did this. This is
What?
Rodney's fault.
Okay, maybe so.
It's
because I was into board gaming, and that's what, like we mentioned before, Bubba met Jerry, recommended to me to meet Jerry, recommended Jerry to meet me, because we were both into board gaming. So at one point in time, I was into board gaming. I liked the idea, and the first game I played with my family. So we played Catan. So then I got into heavy into board gaming, and I was buying these board games in hopes that my family would then play with me.
Right.
So I was learning the rules.
Right.
I was reading the books, explaining the games. But then I met Jerry, and Jerry took over that role.
Right.
And I've lost that gift.
It's not a gift. It's a skill.
I've lost that skill.
You just read the rule book.
I've lost that muscle. I didn't exercise enough.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is that whole aspect of you not liking 18XX, I think, one, I knew you wouldn't like it, number one, which I thought was weird that you'd even want to play it anyways. There's no need to play it because you know you're not going to like it.
I want to experiment with different genres of games.
I know there's nothing wrong with experimenting. There is something wrong with doing something that you know.
I didn't.
But you did know.
But I didn't.
You said, yes, you don't have to experience something to know you don't like it.
Well, obviously not.
So thus you've made my point.
Well, no, but I've played City of Big Shoulders.
Which is not 18XX. Okay.
I know, but it's very much part of it. So
No,
I thought.
Not same designers, not
and
same
we
line.
have played. You know what I'm saying.
I know what
It's a
you're saying.
Stock game.
But it's not a stock game. It's a train game. We love trains. I knew Harrington likes trains.
We played.
You don't like trains.
Irish Gauge.
You hated it.
No, we neither of us liked it. But that game I understood.
But you hated it.
I didn't hate it.
You
we didn't care for it.
Very, very rough.
Actually, I don't remember
Irish.
what we said because it was
You
a
said
long
something
time
terrible
ago.
about the Irish.
And we played one of those railways
Of the world?
of the world,
Yeah, that's like Dan's favorite game.
and we didn't care for
But my
that.
point being is there's certain things that you know you don't like. You know it's not going to be a thing. So you haven't played Chesapeake 1800. Are you going to play it?
No.
How do you know? Why don't you know you don't
'Cause
like
I've
it?
now experienced 18XX
But
games.
But it's different.
No, but Chad said they're all pretty much the same.
But Chad don't know. It's
with
a little bit
few
different.
differences.
It's a little bit different.
Right. It's like coin games.
A little bit different. You haven't played all the coin. My point being is if you know you don't like that genre, And if you can delve down into what you exactly don't like, yes, it's okay to experiment with it, but at times, don't waste your time.
I'm not anymore. Listen, learn.
I want you to do your little word search on this podcast, and I want you to search for lessons learned and go back and find out that you don't learn it because you say that all the time.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
I forget I said it.
Wait till next year, and I guarantee you,
You'll do it again.
I'm going to talk you into playing
I'm
another
back, baby.
XX game. You'll be like,
Have I ever
this
played-
really just, oh yeah, dude.
I got a
loved
question.
it.
I got a question.
Just wait.
got a question. Have I ever played an 18X game?
No, you haven't.
I would like to experience
18.
that.
I think you said 18 eggs.
18 eggs?
No, yeah, I
would be
bet you I
crap.
did.
Doesn't
Half
have.
half
I'm a
dozen
little
and
bit
half.
hungry right now. Okay.
Well,
You
we
leave
gotta go
me
eat.
alone.
This podcast going on too long. We got to get
All right. That's
No.
going to do it for this episode.
That's all.
Thanks for listening.
This is Jerry.
Until next time, I'm Gabi.
Harry.
Jerry.
And this
Entry level knowledge, expert level nonsense, discussing anything and everything, and sometimes board games.